everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting Commander Farsight. Yes, here he is. You've been asking for a Farsight Enclaves tutorial for a little while, and I thought, what better way to do this than to paint up Commander Farsight. And of course, this is a Christmas present for my friend and yours, Mr. Reza Prime on Instagram, so do check him out, as well as all of the great work he's done with us on Tale of Many Warhipsters and the like. So, as a thank you, and because, you know, we love each other, we're going to be painting up Commander Farsight for him for his Farsight Enclaves. Now, he's been primed in grey Seer, as is the rest of Reza's army, and, well, the colour we're going to be using first is Blood Angels Red. We're going to be applying this over the top of all of the red armour. Now, there's a couple of places we want to avoid here. Now, we've got this little kind of section just here on the shoulder. I'm not going to be painting that. We don't want to do this central part of the shield. We don't want to do this, no, this one here on the right leg. And I believe that's it. Oh, we don't want to do the head either. Yes. I've got the product photography in front of me. We also don't want to do this central section of the carapace either. Those are all going to be in the spot colour, which is grey. Otherwise, we're going to be taking this Blood Angels Red, and we're just going to pick a place to start, and we're just going to start coating this over the top of all of those details. So I'm going to start down here at the foot and work my way up. In fact, I'm going to start on this side. So we're looking for a nice smooth coat here. So we're just going to take it a section at a time, using these nice big broad brush strokes, and just finishing off each armor panel as we go. So with all of that red applied, as you can see, what we're going to do now is going to move on to the next colour, and we're going to actually be using the next largest colour on the miniature, which is going to be black. Now the colour we're going to be using for this is Black Legion, and apart from those areas that I pointed out before, such as this front part of the shield, that little band there on the leg, which I've got a bit of red on, but I'm going to correct that with grey Seer in just a minute, and the kind of bit of the helmet here, apart from those areas, everything is going to be black, well, excluding the sword, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some Black Legion, and we're going to start painting this over the top of all of these sections. Now, as I would recommend having the product photography just to make sure you know where you're placing this, but otherwise you just want to start picking out all these details with the Black Legion. So with that Black Legion applied all the way around, as you can see, we've picked out the circle around the Tau Sept logo in the middle here, as well as these kind of decorative features on the shield. What we're going to do now is we're going to shade all of the red. And the colour we're going to be using is Fyreslayer Flesh. What we're just going to do is we're just going to very carefully now just apply this over the top of all of the red. And this is just going to add that lovely kind of little bit of dark brownish shading in there that we want. It's going to help us pick up all of the recesses if we've missed any. Just reinforce some of those colours. Don't worry if it's a little bit too dark, because we're going to relayer it, brighten it up. So with that now done, what we're going to do is going to move on to the rest of the base coats. And the next one is going to be Basilicanum Grey, and this is going to be for all of those grey details. So this is the head and these kind of chevrons and any of those areas on the army that we left. So I'm just going to load up our brush with the Basilicanum Grey, and we're going to paint this over the top of the tower icon as well, because although that's going to be white, we don't really need to use in a separate colour, and this will give us a really nice kind of recess. Which is exactly what we want. And we come to layer it up in a bit. So with that Basilicanum Grey applied, we're then going to take some Skeleton Horde, and we're going to apply this to the fabric trails, or paper trails. With that Skeleton Horde applied, we're then going to take some Wyldwood. I'm going to apply this to the wrap on the Dawn blade. So with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Leadbelcher. I'm going to apply this over the top of the blade. And so with that Leadbelcher applied, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour, and we're going to apply this over pretty much all of our remaining details. So with that done, all of our base coats are now on Commander Farsight. So we're going to add a couple of shades, and then it's time to take him to the next level. So the first shade we're going to add is Reikland Fleshshade. I'm going to be applying this over the top of all of the gold. And with that Reikland Fleshshade all applied, we're then going to take some Coelia Greenshade. I'm going to use this to shade the Dawn blade. So with that done, Farsight himself is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. He's looking pretty cool. However, what we're going to do is we're going to take him to the next level, and we're going to do this by adding some layers and some highlights. Now the first one we're going to add is to all of the red, and this is going to be a roughly 2 parts Evil Sunz Scarlet to 1 part Mephiston Red mix. What we're going to do is we're just going to take this, and we're going to start applying this over the flats of the panels on his armour. So we're just going to start just here. We're just picking out like this, avoiding any of the recessed details, just to add a little bit of kind of brightness in. Now, it might look a little bit stark at first, but don't worry, it dries down that bit darker. So with that done, you should now have this glorious blood red armour, which looks fantastic. But before we highlight it up, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Dawnstone, and we're going to apply this over the top of the grey details. And this is just to brighten them up and smooth them out. So we're just going to, over here, start applying this. Just like this. And so with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Corax White, and we're going to use this to relayer the Tau Sept logo on the chest. And just as we've done twice already, I'm just going to avoid any of the recesses. And just paint this over the flat areas. So with that done, we're going to take a break on the relayering now. We're going to do some highlights. Now the first one we're going to add is Wild Rider Red, and this is going to be to highlight all of the red. So with all that Wild Rider Red applied, what we're going to do now is we're going to take some Fire Dragon Bright. We're going to use this as our little spot highlight, just picking out the sharpest points around the armour. So I'm just going to pick out, for example, little corners there, like that, and there. So with that done, all of our red armor is now finished. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Dawnstone. We're going to use this to highlight all of our black details. Now we could have done this at the same time as the relayering. However, I figured we'd wait until now. So we're just going to pick out all of the edges here. Around all of our black details. And so with that Dawnstone all applied, as you can see, what we're going to do now is we're going to take some Administratum Grey, and we're going to use this to highlight two different types of ways. So what we're going to do is on all of our black details, we're going to add this as our little spot highlight, just as we did on the red, just picking out the sharpest points across the black details. Like that sort of thing. And similarly to what we've done so far, so we're going to take the Administratum Grey I'm going to use this to highlight our darker grey, lighter grey in a way. The areas that we did with Basilicanum Grey, followed by Dawnstone. So with that now done, all of the grey, the black and the red are now finished. So we're going to move on now to our next colour, and that is going to be the gold. Now the colour we're going to be using is Retributor Armour, which we've already used, but what we're going to do here is we're just going to apply this over the top of the flat surfaces on our large gold areas. So we're talking this kind of gizmo up here. Like that. We're going to be covering this over this little bit just here. Like so. Over the top of the lens. Just under there. And there's two places I forgot to do earlier, which are here and here, as well as any of the other little plugs and things. In addition, we're going to do this over the top of these little gold details just here, just to brighten them back up and add a little bit of punch to the colour. So with that Retributor Armour applied, we're then going to take some Canoptek Alloy and we're going to use this to highlight all the gold. So with that Canoptek Alloy applied, we're then going to take some Asurmen Blue and we're going to apply this over the top of these little lenses just down here, like so. And we're going to apply this over his eye lens. As well. So with that done, we're then going to take some Blood Angels Red and I'm going to apply this over this little dial. Just like that. So with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Leadbelcher. And we're going to use this to effectively relayer the sword blade. So we're just going to be covering over these flat sections of the sword like that. And then up here on the flat of the blade, we're going to be colouring it in. And the only place we're not going to be colouring in with the Leadbelcher is the cutting edge of the sword. Because instead what we're going to do is going to take that Leadbelcher and we're just going to highlight it. So with that Leadbelcher all applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight the sword blade. I'm going to do this across all of the edges. So we've got the cutting edge there, like that. We've got the flat side as well. So with that done, Commander Farsight is now finished, and you could leave him there. However, there is a couple of little bits of freehand that we can do on him, just to take him that one step further. Now we do have some runes, some tau lettering that is on the kind of these paper trails, and we do have some markings on him as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some Blood Angels Red. We're going to start with the markings, then we're going to do a couple of the runes on the paper as well. So we've got one red marking, and this is going to be on our helmet. And what we want to do is we want to start around about here at that kind of second line, and we want to draw a line going down here like that, and then we just want to widen out that line at about the first line, just like that. Similarly, on our paper trails, I'm going to draw in some tau lettering. Now, you can kind of make this up if you want to. However, I would recommend having the box art or product photography in front of you. So I've got it here. We're just going to start towards the bottom of the paper trail. I'm going to move it the way up. So we're going to start off by drawing in a little letter T. Like that. Then we have a square cornered U. Like that. Then we have this kind of little C section. Like so. And we have this little design that kind of goes with a dot, a line, and then another little dot. So I would just, like I said, just recommend having the box art in front of you, product photography on the website, and then you can copy these out. And so with that done, we've just got two other bits of markings to do on Farsight. So we've got one here on his left leg and one here that goes on the chest as well. So the one on the leg, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thin down Dawnstone, and we're going to apply this very carefully now. So we've got one line that goes along here. Like so. And it comes down just a little bit onto the next part of the leg. We then have a much thinner line that comes down alongside it. And this one goes all the way down. like that. And then we have a final bit that is basically a narrow line that widens out. So we're just gonna, next to this one, gonna draw our narrow line, comes down and goes all the way down. And then on this armor section, I'm going to widen out like so. Then we're going to draw just a little diagonal line here. I'm going to block it in. Like so. Additionally, on that chest place, we're going to take that Dawnstone just here. We basically draw a big thick L. So we're going to draw a kind of long arm of the L, like that. Going to block it in. I'm just going to widen that out just a little bit. And then in the negative space, I'm just going to add a little line like that. And so with his base complete, Commander Farsight is now finished, and all that remains to say is a very Merry Christmas to you, Rich. Hope you like this one. Really enjoyed painting it for you, buddy. And thank you so much for all your help with Tale of Many Warhipsters, and I hope you're ready for Tale of Many Warhipsters Season 2. It's coming soon, people. Keep your eyes peeled. But for now, let's all just enjoy the spectacle of a bright red Commander Farsight, despite the fact it's in fine cast resin. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you want to support me further like these legends and bosses on the screen before you, you can do so. Head to patreon.com/warhipster or head to ko-fi.com/warhipster. Alternatively, you could become a YouTube member by heading to the channel page and clicking on the join button just here, just like these amazing, wonderful people have done. And if you really like this video or you just want to shoot me some support, you can click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.